Right, Professor Singh, how do you see this? Isn't this a massive statement of intent? And I'm referring to the comments made by Vice President Harris.
Clearly, there is a expectation from the first ever Vice President from South Asian origin to have a better understanding of this region. And I think it has come true that it is no longer India pleading to United States to mention or name or shame Pakistan, but it is the US Vice President, and hopefully we will see President also most likely making some mention like this, that it is United States that sees India as a more important partner to rely upon when it comes to fighting against terrorism. And as far as India is concerned, it is just one step forward, because India has been trying to create indeed a comprehensive international convention on countering terrorism at United Nations since mid-1990s. So India's increasing significance to fighting terrorism globally is what makes United States leaders increasingly, co-opt India as an equal partner in that fight. Pakistan has received snub at various places recently. You saw they were trying to also add Afghanistan to the South Asian foreign ministers meeting by the side of UN General Assembly, where all members said, that's not acceptable to them. Likewise, when Taliban wanted 6 nations to send their representatives for the interim government to be formed, none of the nations responded. So Pakistan has been snubbed repeatedly on these issues, and I think it's one more strong message that is coming post-US exit from Afghanistan, that Afghanistan is a kind of an inflection point, as President Joe Biden himself referred in his speech, that Pakistan is no longer going to be perhaps as strong an ally as India will be in coming decades as US seeks to fight terrorism.
On the point that you make about Barack Obama, Professor Singh, I want to bring you in. Even after the US found and killed Osama bin Laden in the heart of Pakistan, nothing changed.
That's true. I think what is important also to underline is the backing that China provides to Pakistan, which makes Pakistan perhaps far more self-confident. And this whole debate of China-Pakistan economic corridor and the larger Belt and Road Initiative, etc., and how China is today engaging with Taliban. So in that sense, I think we see very often the focus being on Pakistan as the creator of the Taliban in some sense. But minus support of China, it wouldn't stand on its own in that sense. So the bigger and deeper challenge perhaps lies here in addressing the China challenge in that sense. And since that is the larger challenge, we have already noticed how United States has increasingly treated India almost as an equal partner, and the kind of technologies that are being transferred, both for critical technologies, modern technologies in cyberspace issues, in maritime issues, or the technologies which are under discussion, are going to be very different. So it's not that AUKUS is now transferring submarine-related technologies to Australia.
Right.
The nature of technology transfers to even India from United States has changed in last decade or so. In that sense, there's a clear understanding that if Pakistan is not a useful partner to tackle terrorism as far as United States is concerned, and ultimately it resulted in the US having to exit after 20 years of war, then India is obviously seen as a far more reliable partner in that sense, which will address America's concerns not just on Pakistan and terrorism in Pak-Afghanistan region, but other larger issues in the Indo-Pacific region, as R.S. Hansen was just mentioning.
Which is why it should not be wrong to take the context, take the statements in the larger context. While Pakistan was named, the larger message was also at China. Name shame has been done. Will sanctions be next? Will punitive action follow? Will global isolation follow, Professor Singh?
I think you have to see how the whole perceptions in America have changed. For a long time, Americans used to believe terrorism is a problem of poor countries. Then starting from Munich attack of 1971 to the 9/11 in 2001, Americans fully understood terrorism has nothing to do with poverty, it's a global problem. Likewise, as President Joe Biden in his speech in United Nations General Assembly has said, it's an inflection point. Their exit from Afghanistan is again changing their understanding. And last month only, the Secretary of State clearly said that Pakistan was harboring Taliban terrorists. Now it is upgraded to Vice President mentioning the similar sentiment. We should expect, hopefully, that the summit meeting, bilateral summit meeting between the Indian Prime Minister and American President could have some, sentiment of that sort also publicized, which increasingly means recognition of India's understanding on terrorism and how at the global level India can contribute. It's not just a bilateral issue for India in dealing with Pakistan. India is dealing with terrorism at a much larger scale. And that is where the United States sees it increasingly incumbent upon itself that it must take India as a partner. And in that sense, whether it is intelligence sharing or it is, potentially we can think of strikes. You mentioned the example of
Right.
Bin Laden before. But, this is an increasing proximity and bonhomie, I think, which is noticing that terrorism is becoming a combined problem of United States and India, and they stand together on it. And India can potentially make a very important contribution to United States fight on terrorism. It's not just India's fight on terrorism alone. We usually say India has to protect its own national interests. United States is not going to come and fight for us. But the partnership, I think, can clearly empower both. And India would potentially empower